these poor creatures who traveled for hundreds of miles in open-air trucks. Imagine the pigs who are in the cold weather, what they're experiencing in these open-air trucks. Los Angeles Animal Save is a love-based movement. When you see these marks on top of the pigs, it means something. It may mean that they're marked for slaughter. These are young pigs, and there are their mothers, dead, likely, or in a pig gestation crate somewhere, being forced to produce more animals that are then ripped away from them. Why? Don't blame the workers who kill these animals. It's the people who buy the bacon and the pork.
They're right before.
Okay, we're being told the police are very, very, very cooperative. And here's a second death truck coming up. And when we're told to get away, we step back. There are huge numbers of people here, well over 100, bearing witness to what's going on here. And it's all a consumer issue. Consumers could stop this right away by simply making more compassionate choices. And this is brutal. Hello, baby. Hi, honey. Hi, honey. Oh, he's moving. Some of these trucks don't want to stop. Oh my God, that was painful. What ran through you as you saw that truck didn't stop and you were trying to give him water?
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, it hurt. You can't stop for 2 minutes out here, but you'll sit in there for 45 minutes. Nothing different happens. It's not like they're servicing the pigs in there. It hurts no one to stop here, just like it hurts no one to be kind to animals. But
yes,
the drivers of these trucks come to find out. I read on trucker forums to find out what types of people are livestock haulers, and they're abusers. You hear the way they talk about hauling these, what they do to the cows.
Thank you for your insights. My personal opinion is some of these truckers do stop.
Yeah, they have two. There's two actually. There's one in north. There's one in north.
I don't blame anybody but the consumers. This is entirely a consumer issue. I don't blame the workers. Hi there. I don't blame the workers. I don't blame the workers who are forced to work here.
I saw that last time.
Hi. We're live.
Hi.
What was it like when you saw that one truck did stop, but then another truck did not, and we saw those pigs for a moment, but we were not able to comfort them?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. There's so many pigs that keep coming, that we can't comfort them all. So the best thing is to not eat them, so they won't end up in those trucks in the first place.
And I know you are a leader in the animal rights movement, and for those who
I follow you actually, Jane.
Oh,
thank you. You inspire me. You're always
right
there.
Right back at you. But you've gotten arrested for the cause of animals.
Yes, I saw you there too. I wasn't
arrested, but in any case, I want to ask you, as you know, and those who don't know, but I'm sure most people do, that you're a very, very accomplished actress, and you have many credits to your name.
Thank you.
Why do you choose to use your celebrity to come here and bear witness?
I actually come here as a human being. The celebrity part's just an added thing. If people will want to listen to me because of that, then more power to that. But really, I come here as a human to see all these other amazing humans who are so loving. It makes me feel good, and I feel like maybe I'm making a difference.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, because some people, and there are people who have brought their dogs here to try to show that pigs are no different than dogs, and in fact, there's Commissioner Wolfson here.
Hi.
Hi, Commissioner Wolfson with LA Animal Services, and you brought your dog. And what? We've just been talking to Alexandra Paul. Thank you, Alexandra.
Hi, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Hey, Alexandra.
What is the symbolic message to bring a beautiful dog? Thanks. Here.
Well, first of all, this is a dog that came from Los Angeles Animal Shelters, and it's just a reminder of some of the great work that we do at the shelters, that we really help rescue wonderful animals like this. And I think there's also something very comforting about having him here. I call it puppy therapy. I hand him out to anybody who wants to hold him, and he's very accepting and very warm and very sweet, and it really helps. But I think there's also something to be said for just the contrast. Just look how well we treat, one kind of animal, and then another animal is getting, slaughtered at the rate of 6,000 a day in this building right over here. And it's just something to be conscious of, and something maybe to be a little bit sad of, and maybe it's in keeping with the spirit of Los Angeles Animal Save, which is to just be aware and to bear witness to what's really going on.
Now, I know you're also a television writer and a TV producer, and you deal with a lot of influential people. You're a political speechwriter. Can you talk a little bit about how some of the best and the brightest, the intelligentsia, simply do not acknowledge this entire issue and how we can break through?
Well, I think that this is a particularly interesting issue, first of all, because of all the moneyed interests that are on the side of raising animals to be killed. I mean, there's a lot of money in it. But I think also what you're dealing with is a very strong moral component that people are very uncomfortable with.
Look, here's somebody, Roy Pennington. I love me some bacon. What do you say to that?
He's commenting right now?
Yeah.
Well, I feel for Roy. I think that what he really is probably picking up on is that people here don't necessarily support his choice of eating meat, and that can feel like an attack to someone like Roy. It can feel an attack to anybody. And so when people feel like their morals are being attacked or questioned or certainly looked down on, then the natural reaction is to try and fight back against it on some level, and maybe even to be unkind in return, because my sense is people like Roy feel like we're being unkind to him. And so his response is, in his mind, justified. And I can't speak for Roy at all. This is all conjecture, and Roy might just be kidding. But nonetheless, I think that a lot of the people who have at some point in their life become vegetarian or vegan understand that simply by doing that, even by sitting down at a dinner table with all of their friends, just the fact that they ordered a salad instead of a hamburger becomes a bone of contention with everybody at the table. It's not enough just that they've taken the action for themselves. It feels to the other people at the table as though they have been challenged and even insulted. And so I think that right now, though, veganism is growing at the fastest rate of any movement in this country. About 3 years ago, only 2% of the country was vegan, and now there's about 6% of the country. So it's not a question of if the country is going to go vegan and vegetarian. It's just a question of when. And, we're going to hit the tipping point in the near future. And after the tipping point, a lot of the battles will already be fought, and a lot of the opposition will calm down. But until then, we have to be showing up with things like this.
Thank you so much, and we got a lot of positive comments as well.
That's nice to hear.
Systematic oppression of animals hurts humans. Bacon for your arteries to get clogged up. Love you all. So, thank you, and thank you.
Bye. Easy says hello to everybody and to your wonderful audience.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much, Roger.
It's such a pleasure.
And these folks are also giving the peace sign. Here's the truck leaving without the pigs. The truck that had come in just moments ago. We saw 2 death trucks, and now 2 death trucks are leaving without the pigs. And this is a love-based movement, and so you see people raising their hands in a peace sign. Not to castigate those who drive the truck or to be angry, but just to be loving. And so we have so many folks here. This young man goes to all of these events, and I see you everywhere. And
yes.
What inspires you?
Ending this as fast as possible, spreading awareness to the people who have no idea what they're paying for. They're paying for rape, torture, mutilation, slaughter of innocent animals that don't need to be slaughtered. We can live a vegan diet and live a vegan lifestyle and live healthier than carnists do. So we need to end this, because we're not only are we slaughtering innocent animals by the billions and trillions every year, we're destroying our planet, and we only have one planet. So the decisions we make today affect the future, and I want to be a part of the right side of history, not be choosing to pay on to this unnecessary cruelty and torture.
All right, thank you so very much. I appreciate your comments. And we're just walking along here and taking a look at some of the folks who are here. And we're being asked to stand up on the sidewalk so that we don't block the street.
His name is Easy.
There are a lot of people here. And
so I noticed that.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
It seems that I'm interrupting you again and again. And this is Jean-Pierre, a very well-known trainer and a vegan activist. And we were talking as well. I'm sorry that I interrupted before what you were saying.
You can come anytime and interrupt us,
I
right?
want to ask both of you because, we're getting so many positive comments, but also some negative comments of generally the variety of bacon, or I'm going to have bacon with my eggs. What do you say to those people, Alexandra? And then I'll ask you if I can, Jean-Pierre.
I don't say anything, generally. But if someone says it to me with, in a sincere manner that they can't give up their bacon, then what I say is, give up what you really don't care about, because there's so many other things that have to do with animals, that cheese or dairy, there's so many other things they can give up first, and then if they give that up, then it's easier to give up the things they really love. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I think part of being vegan is being compassionate, loving, and kind, so not responding back with hatred or violence or anything, just be understanding and empathetic.
Thank you so much, Jean-Pierre. And sadly, we have another truck filled with pigs, innocent young pigs who are very confused about why they're here. These pigs are so young that they would want to be with their mothers, but they are ripped from their mothers at a very, very young age. And this is what their life is. This is their life. So, oh, you have one that's drinking? Can you describe it? I'm trying to see, but
it's a little tall, but she's got my bottle like all the way in her mouth, like a little baby.
That pig was quite thirsty.
Yeah, and sometimes they can suck down more than a whole bottle. I mean, they can drink a lot because they haven't had water for sometimes 36 hours.
All right, thank you so much. And all the folks here, and there are so many of them, are compassionate people. This isn't a protest. It is a love-based vigil where people come to express love to the pigs and to show the world what's going on. And that's very important as well. And so we're going to try to get her started.
Back up.
Oops, sorry. Oh, no problem. We have to back up, and as you see, everybody's backing up because we want to obey what the police say. They give us a moment or two to stand here, and then they ask us to back up. So here are the ghosts who are bearing witness as this truck goes in, and I've made eye contact with some of the kids. It's really hard. And that to me is the hardest when I look in their eyes. Have you made eye contact with any of the pigs?
Yes.
And can you describe that for people who are sort of, there's some people who are very, very supportive and compassionate, but others are saying, bacon with the 3 exclamation points.
Definitely makes it more real than what people go and buy in the store in a package. When you're actually looking into their eyes, you see the hurt they're feeling, the pain, the suffering. They just want to live. They want to live like us. They're just babies. They're babies, and we take them and we bring them here, and they die just so that we can enjoy our bacon and our ham. It's not right.
And it's interesting because there's a lot of people who don't understand at all. I mean, I have people who are saying right now, along with some people like Linda Everett, who says pigs are very intelligent. Nicholas Peters is saying bacon. Somebody else is saying, Rod Johnson is saying, that's a lot of yummy bacon. Let's talk about the disconnect. Can you address that a little bit?
I mean, that's just literally all it is they don't see it and they don't want to see it, and that's what makes it easy to eat it. I mean, most people have been there, so I mean, I get it, but at some point, like, how do you laugh at it? Like, I never laughed at it, like, I never made fun of it. It's just like, respect us out here actually trying to do something nice for them. I don't know. I don't get that.
I think people laugh at it because they're uncomfortable. A lot of us laugh when we're nervous, you know. They don't want to face the reality because it's too hard for them to bear. Because, I mean, it's if they had to come here, they would be emotionally affected. I mean, who knows if they would stop eating the bacon. I mean, people are addicted to animal products, and it's killing them. But I know personally when I'd seen so many Slaughterhouse videos on the internet, and I thought I knew what was going on, but coming here and actually having, looking into the pig's eyes and having some moment of empathy with them, it's totally different. And it changed. I was already vegan, but it changed my life and just hardened my resolve to become a better activist. And I would really encourage anybody to come check it out. We welcome everybody, no matter if you're vegan or not. You can come see. You get to bear witness, and you can come get in touch with the animal rights activist community. So yeah, please come out if you can.
Yeah, and it's interesting because when you hear some of the comments, you realize what people are saying when they're in denial. What some people are saying on this live video is, well, this is jobs for the pig farmers. That's how they justified slavery. That's how they justified keeping women out of the workplace. So jobs is something that has been used historically throughout time to justify persecution. Others say the circle of life. What would your response be to that? It's part of the circle of life, says Mark Ingram. Well, let me start by saying that the circle of life is not factory farming, where we violate. It's actually called a rape rack in the factory farm industry. Yeah. These animals are not making love. They're all violated. Yeah.
I mean, we're civilized humans. We're civilized humans. We're not wild animals. There's nothing natural about enslaving and raping and mass breeding animals so we can eat them just because they taste good. We don't have to do it. That's the whole thing, is you don't have to do that, and you have a choice. Animals that live in the wild that don't have a choice, what does that have to do with humans that are civilized, that have a choice? You go to the grocery store and you pick out meat out of a package that's all cleaned up so you don't have to see what it really is. Like I said, the disconnect again. Yeah. That's all it is.
Go ahead.
If you want to talk about the circle of life and what's natural, animals do kill other animals, but we as humans do not need to, and in fact we evolved so that to eat plants and not kill animals. If we don't have the teeth of carnivores, we don't have the digestive system of carnivores, we're not meant to eat meat. So yes, cheetahs do kill gazelle on the savannah, but we're not cheetahs, we're human beings, and we don't need meat, and we don't need to kill them.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
They also eat the whole animal, and they don't need the guys in the slaughterhouse to go in and do the killing for them. Real carnivores go out there with the tools that God gave them, claws, teeth, and they go out and they eat everything. They're not picky. They don't need to cook the food because their intestines are made to break down that meat, that rotting meat.
The blood, the veins, everything.
My point, which I learned from somebody, I didn't come up with myself, is that we're not carnivores. If we were carnivores, we would see roadkill on the side of the road. We'd salivate and want to eat it, but we don't.
Yeah, when people don't want to see the slaughterhouse footage, but that's what they're paying for and that's what they're eating. So how would we be a carnivore if you don't even want to see how your food's made? I mean, nobody minds seeing people pick vegetables. That's not sad. That's not gross. That's not scary.
You can bet your ass a tiger or a lion isn't getting sick to his stomach when he sees some blood or he sees an animal hurt. That's what he's made for. He's made to go out there and kill like that because that's the way God made him. So
yeah, and of course,
the circle of life is really just a really crock of shit.
Become processed meat, and the World Health Organization has determined that processed meat is actually cancer causing.
Right. It's in the same. It's a Groupon carcinogen in the same category as cigarettes, alcohol, even asbestos. I mean, there's like a list of numerous products that all are directly linked to causing cancer, and it's proven. And processed meats, which is turkey, bacon, literally any meat that is processed is a Group 1 carcinogen. How is that natural to eat that if it's causing you a disease?
And Linda Everett says there has to be a better way. You know what? There isn't a better way because these animals didn't sign up to die.
Right.
And there's too many people on this planet to kill 70 billion animals humanely.
Right.
More people have been born since 1950 than existed in the entire history of humankind. There are too many animals. There are too many people on this planet.
And there are far more factory farm animals than there are humans. There's 70 billion right now, and there's only 7.5 billion.
Yeah.
Humans.
It's not even really like a human population. Like, I don't think there's too many humans. We're just over consuming and we're too greedy. So we're depleting all of Earth's resources trying to feed animals so we can eat them when we could just eat the plants that we're feeding to them, and then we wouldn't be sucking our Earth dry. The only reason that our Earth is, you know, losing so much water and we're losing the grain and we're depleting the soil is because we have to keep up with the demand to feed all these animals just so that we can, just because it tastes good. And we don't even have to. That's the whole thing, is we don't have to. We have a choice.
You know, a lot of these people don't realize that they're brainwashed. They're conditioned by thousands of images they see on TV.
Yes.
And images subliminally connect.
People tell us that we're brainwashed, and I'm like, I mean, I was brainwashed my whole life. I just went vegan 9 months ago. I've been there, so I know that I was brainwashed. I'm admitting it now, but people just like laugh and they're like, oh, I'm not brainwashed.
What changed you?
This girl.
All right, well, you've been very quiet.
Get him with
it. It's changing. One friend tells another. You were going to say something.
Well, I was just going to speak on the brainwashing. You know, what a lot of these companies do, and what we're programmed to from a young age, is that, you know, they make up these words like steak. You know, what a steak is raw flesh, veins, muscle, tendons. Veal is a baby cow. Lamb is a baby sheep.
I want to interrupt by saying, Christopher Wolfson says, "What are you wearing?" The people here, this is not a leather jacket.
We always get that too. There's another brainwashing.
Yeah.
One of the comments everybody makes.
And
another guy who doesn't want to accept the truth, and he wants to call out somebody on something that's nonsense. This is faux leather, brother. So try to find something else.
Well, it's 2018. I was about to say 2017. It's 2018. There's substitutes for everything. You don't need to kill animals for anything. Not anything. Not one thing.
So, all right. Yeah, well, it's not just corn, Joseph Saldivar. It's tens of thousands of vegetables. People are saying, well, we should just eat corn. No, there's tens of thousands of fruits and vegetables. I could stand here all day.
I make more dishes now that I'm vegan than I did before I was vegan. Like, I'm more creative. I eat more varieties of food now that I'm vegan. So that's... I mean, I know we always get the grass comments, you know, all that.
The statistic I saw was that we actually only eat about 10 to 15% of the food that's available on this planet, because we're so stuck on meat and dairy and all these things that are killing us and giving us cancer. You know, if we started to look at food from nutritional value instead of just the taste value, we would see that plants are the way to go, and that, you know, if we would listen to, you know, Stoics and people like Socrates who said, let food be thy medicine, you know, there wouldn't be cancer rates this high. We wouldn't be the fattest country in the world. You know, there wouldn't be blobs walking all over the place because they wouldn't be eating all this shit.
Yeah, and you know, people have said, you know, some people, why don't you care about people? But actually, it's meat.
It's a human rights issue in itself. I mean,
Bloomberg just published an in-depth article on the horrors of working, and I'm not saying about this plant. This is not about the plant we're at, but the horrors of working at slaughterhouses. The horrors of working at slaughterhouses.
It's because to them.
So if you guys could just pay attention to me for a couple minutes, I'm going to give you my safety speed.
Okay.
Oh, you're going to wait for me? Yeah. It won't cut out? Are you sure? Okay.
This is Amy G. Davis, and she is the leader of Los Angeles Animals.
I'm holding it totally down, and it's
she's being
I'm not afraid of
given a bullhorn or a loudspeaker by the police, who are wonderful.
Can you guys hear me?
Wonderful.
Yes.
Yes.
You're breaking up.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Amy has some important stuff she wants to tell you. Before that, could you guys scoot forward towards the sidewalk?
Okay, she says it's breaking up. We can't hear you. We can't understand.
Okay.
Well, they said you were breaking up.
Yeah. I didn't hear myself breaking up.
No, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear
out
him breaking.
there, you're not gonna, because the speaker's over there. It's
Oh,
pointed
yeah,
out
yeah.
over
It's
towards
right in the front, right here. Try it one more time. See if it works.
This is Amy Jean Davis of Los
Okay.
Angeles Animals. So.
I'm going to try and make this as brief as possible because they're so kind to let me use their loudspeaker.
It's not working. Amy, it's breaking up. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Okay.
What do you need to tell them?
I just the usual things about safety and why we're here and all that stuff. It's well, I wrote it
police have been really extraordinary and very, very cooperative in helping us. And this is a huge, huge group here. We have more than 100 people. And
all right, back to one.
Hold on, we're going to follow Amy. Okay, yes. Here comes another death truck leaving, and Amy G. Winners are raising their hands in a peace sign. This is a love-based movement. This is not a protest. This is a vigil, and people are just saying peace and love. We'll be following this. These extraordinary group of people as Amy gives her talk. And
the other is a small
tells people,
you guys can come down and be in the street just for a couple minutes.
So everybody can hear what the rules are and how to comport themselves during this vigil. This is part of the SAVE movement.
It's really important for anybody new. Everybody, all the regulars, you've heard me do this 100 times. Yeah. Robin, you don't need to hear this. Okay, so thank you for coming. I apologize for my dead battery. This is LA Animal Safe. We are the Los Angeles chapter of the SAVE movement, which is a global organization with over 250 groups and growing. What we do is we find slaughterhouses and we go down there and stop the trucks and we bear witness to the animals for a few minutes. Bearing witness means when you know there's suffering happening, you don't turn away. You come closer, as close as you can, and do something to try and help. So what we do down here is we stop the trucks with the assistance of the Vernon Police Department, and we give water to the pigs. If you guys stay in this number 2 lane. The SAVE movement is love-based, even though I'm shouting. So if any of the drivers give us any kind of animosity, we do not return it. We give the peace sign. We do not engage. So we don't do any kind of hate speech here or flipping people off. It's all peace and love here. It's very important to know that about the SAVE movement. So when you're here at a vigil, we're creating this kind of peaceful energy for the pigs, because that's who we're here for. It's all about the pigs and raising awareness.
2 fingers, not 1.
2 fingers, not 1. Okay, so the way it works is we have gatekeepers across the street. They stand in front of the gate, and that stops the truck. And when the truck comes to a complete stop, we're allowed to approach with our water sprayers and water bottles. Now this is really important. Look for snouts first. Look for snouts. Do not start spraying or pouring water into into the truck where you can't see because it's dark. We do not want to stress the pigs out more than they already are. So if they're asleep, just let them sleep. And if there are no snouts close to you, then you're not going to be giving any water in that moment. Okay, it's very important. Okay. So especially with the sprayers, when you're trying to get to the top layer, if you can't see a snout, please don't spray, because most likely there's a pig lying down inside there and they might be startled. If they do get startled and stampede, just back away. Back away until the stampede is over and then reapproach. Okay, so everything you can do to make this totally about the pigs, that's what we want you to be doing. There are people here that have been coming here for over a year and they know the process. So if somebody says to you, oh, hey, you're spraying a pig, make sure, I don't see a snout, make sure you see a snout, please listen to them, because they know what they're doing, they know what they're talking about, and they have the pigs' safety, it's not safety, but their comfort as priority number 1. Who are my compassion crew? Okay, so look around and you see them, and if they didn't raise their hand, there might be more compassion crew. They just didn't know it until that moment where they're like, oh my God, I'm a compassion crew and I have to speak up. Safety-wise, don't climb on the trucks. Stay on this side of the trucks. You guys just scoot, yeah, a little bit. Do not go in the back of the trucks or in front of the trucks, so only on this side. We have new officers tonight, and when that happens and they're not familiar with the process, we have to adjust to keep them happy and to continue the mutual respect we have going with the Vernon Police Department. So tonight, it's possible no one's going to be directly talking to the drivers, which means they might decide to move the truck faster than they're supposed to. So when we say back away, you need to back away right away, because we don't want anybody losing any hands, water bottles, or camera equipment or lights. So we're gonna have to be much more alert with that. Back away as soon as we say back away, because we don't have a guy up here regulating the driver. We usually do. So if this is your first time, this is a bit of an oddity. Normally we have officers here who are, you know, totally controlling. Okay, so back up on the sidewalk, please.
The truck is coming.
I hate yelling.
And folks here are getting ready to bear witness and to provide love and water. And there are
applause for Amy Jean Davis.
Yes. There are people, young children here, and people from every age group, every walk of life, every different kind of profession. There's no one type of person here, except these are people who've woken up to the horrors of killing animals unnecessarily for food. Actually, you know, meat consumption is contributing to human world hunger. The food that we feed, the corn and the grain and the soy and the wheat that we feed, 70 billion farm animals, if fed directly to humans, would end world hunger. So, the truck is stopping. Very, very quiet. We greet these guys and these little young animals, these children. Second level. These pigs you're looking at are on the second level. The second level of this truck. Trying to get some water after driving a long distance in an open air truck without food or water. They are hungry, and they are very, very grateful for the water. This may be the only moment of compassion they have ever received from the human species. These animals are considered property and treated as things. And our contention is that they are not. They are individuals who have a right to their own lives. There's a growing consensus that this is a litmus test of civilization. When we are unable to send these innocent animals to their deaths, perhaps we will have become civilized as a species. And, you know, I feel those who are joking and minimizing this are, I think it is anxiety-producing to get snapped out of denial. It is very, very anxiety-producing. We're told to back up. We're going to be backing up right now, and following the orders of the police here, who have been really wonderful in helping us, and the SAVE movement. The SAVE movement is happening all over the world. It was founded by a Canadian doctor who saw a pig, made eye contact with a pig in a truck destined for slaughter. She is a student of Tolstoy. Her name is Anita Krines, and she knew that her philosophy that she studied as a doctor said that when you see suffering, you have a moral obligation not to turn away, but to bear witness, even if you can't stop it. She was arrested for giving water to a pig in Toronto. She was put on trial. It became a global issue. The National Review wrote up articles on her.
I was there in Toronto when the case was dismissed against her, and the media was out, of course. She put factory farming on trial. Here's the empty death truck leaving without any pigs, and all those pigs are in there, and they are going to be killed in short order. So, those of you who love dogs and cats, pigs are actually smarter than dogs. They have a higher IQ than dogs. So, you know, go ahead and laugh and joke, but hopefully think as well. Think and open your heart and open your mind. James Kim says caring makes a difference. And that's really the long and short of it. Well said. Here's another truck coming. Another death truck is coming. So we're going to see if yet another truck come in. And it's, I have to tell you that for me, it's really hard to come here and experience this. I feel sad for a long period of time. It takes me a while to shake it off. I can't even imagine that people would find this funny or ridiculous, but they do, and we're here to try to wake them up. Here's the truck, another truck. Thousands of pigs are killed here every day, and we're going to take a look at some of them so that you can see. Pigs just a little pet and show some love. I love you. I love you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I wish I could free you, but I can't. The only thing I can do, and I think everybody here is in some way, shape, or form devoting their life to this. The only thing that we can do is try to wake people up. What goes through you as you watch this? What's in your heart?
The pain. It's a huge pain to see this.
Oh yeah, okay. As that truck goes in and all those animals go to their deaths, what runs through your heart, sir?
Yeah, actually nothing great. I mean, it's terrible stuff.
Terrible.
And I seen what's happened inside, but in other country.
What other country?
In Russia.
Oh, yeah.
If you have a Russian viewers, привет. Yeah, so I have been in Slaughterhouse in Russia, and I seen what's happened inside, how pigs
died.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. People here from all over the world, thank you very much. These folks, are you both from Russia?
Yeah.
From Russia, yes. This is a global movement. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure.
It's really amazing. You have people from every walk of life. You have people from all over the world. And I think the world is changing. You're watching the start of, you could call it a revolution or you could call it an evolution. This is the litmus test of evolution. You know, we all regard life as a zero-sum game, that we have to kill to survive, but that's not true. Can I ask you, what runs through your heart as you make contact with these pigs?
Qu'est-ce que tu ressens what do you feel when you see what's happening?
I just can't believe that it's real. I'm here for the first time, and I'm vegan for 6 months, and that's just horrible. I don't have any words to explain.
Yes, and you were translating. Are you from France?
Yeah.
You're French. We just spoke to some people from Russia. This is a global movement. Can you explain what you're experiencing, sir?
I mean, yeah, we see the pigs coming. Apparently 6,000 a day, and that's just here. I've been to the one in Toronto, and I wanted to check here. It's I don't know what. It's all horrible. What's great is I think it's getting bigger and bigger.
The protests.
The protests, and I think in a couple of years, the street is going to be packed. You're not going to be able to move. I think we're getting somewhere, and those movements really help. So
Do you
great.
see it as a global movement? Is there a movement in France too?
It's coming. It's getting there slowly, but it's getting there. I mean, it has to get to everyone becoming, vegan and eating plant-based. So we're working on it, and I think it's going to be global really soon. That's for sure.
And people are so funny. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. People are so funny. They're so defensive. No one from America is here. 99.9% of the people here are from America. There are some people who are here from other countries. Los Angeles happens to be a mecca for tourists and for people who come from other countries. When I walk down my street in Los Angeles, I hear all sorts of accents, and we are a nation of immigrants. So we're going to get back to Amy Jean Davis, who is American.
Shining it at the ceiling inside the truck. Do not shine it directly at the pigs. Shine the lights at the ceiling of the truck. And one other thing is, do not pet those pigs like they're dogs. I know you have good intentions. They don't understand petting. So if you want to put your hand on them, just put your hand on them and don't move it, and just be loving, but don't pet them. They don't get that. It scares them. Cool?
Yes.
Awesome.
All right. Amy Jean Davis is actually is well known as an American Idol contestant. She is a singer-songwriter, and she is the founder of Los Angeles Animal Save. And
if you're using lights, make sure you're shining them inside the truck at the ceiling, and do not shine them directly at the pigs. We have lights here. If you see one not being used, fire it up and put it in a position. If it's a tripod light, or grab it and put it through a hole and shine it at the ceiling. Also, do not pet the pigs like they're dogs. They don't understand that. It scares them. So if you want to put your hand on them, just put your hand on them and hold it. Don't pet them like dogs. It's very scary for them, okay? Thank you.
I learn something every time I come here. If I was petting the pig, I apologize. I think I mostly put my hand on her. Here's a woman who brings incense because the stench is pretty intense. What runs through you that you came here to bring incense?
Yeah,
Speak up if you could.
it's really, really intense tonight, the smell, and I've only been here for about 15 minutes, and I've seen 4 trucks come and go. So when the trucks go in, they are full with 3 stories of these baby pigs that are only 6 months old that are humongous because they're jacked up on probiotics and antibiotics, and not probiotics. It's horrible. And then the trucks come out empty, which is just horrific that we're in this holocaust of animals that are being abused in these factory farm situations, and the only light of day they saw was on their way here from the factory farm to the slaughterhouse. And when they come out, you can hear them when they go in between, they're squealing. It's horrible, and the smell and the stench is awful. It's horrible. This place is horrible.
Thank you.
and thank you for your thoughts and for bringing incense.
We also have sprayers and water bottles all along the sidewalk.
And this is happening all over the world. There are now more than 200 of these visual movements around the world, in Europe, in Latin America. It's growing. The intention of Anita Krines, who created the Save movement, is to have a vigil at every slaughterhouse in the world.
So
And they are moving toward that goal.
All I know is the foul.
And we hope that they get to that goal. There are folks here who bring these water.
I want to do
water buckets. Finally, they have the water buckets on their back so that they can give more water to these pigs. You know, when somebody like Kerry says, imagine if we put this effort towards something that really mattered. Okay, let me say this. All right, I'm going to camera on myself for a minute. Animal agriculture is a leading cause of climate change. You may be climate change deniers as well, but if you notice all the extreme weather, hurricanes, out of control wildfires, as well as extreme cold, scientists are saying that that is climate change happening. Animal agriculture is the leading cause of climate change, responsible for more greenhouse gases than all transportation combined. So if your home is destroyed by a hurricane or a wildfire, or you're suffering in the intense cold, think about what you eat, because there's a connection. So this is actually a very important issue. Not to mention that we could end human world hunger if we all switched to a plant-based diet and fed food directly to humans. Meat is the most inefficient food source ever invented because animals eat far more than they produce as meat or dairy. I could go on all day. Heart disease is America's leading killer. 1 out of every 4 of you will die of heart disease, which is caused by arteries to the heart getting clogged with cholesterol, which only exists in animal products. So for your health, for the planet, and for these poor animals, think about it. Nobody has to know that you're thinking about it. You can pretend to be a hardcore carnivore. Just privately in your own thoughts, think about it. And now, we are going to do the group photo of all the folks who are here. And this group photo is extraordinary. And the photograph, you can see, they're lining up here outside the slaughterhouse. Take a look at the large number of people who are here, and there's even some others on the sidelines. So now we have some lights that are coming on.
Wow. Great idea.
Look at this. Look at this. Look how beautiful this is. And with that, I will leave you.